Okay.
Hello, I'm Weller,
And I'm Craig.
and we are two-thirds of Sentient Cow Games. And
Whoa.
yes, we are here to talk to you today about what, Craig?
We're here to talk about fellow game designers, games, their Kickstarter launches, toys, pop culture, movies, comic books, you name it. If it's cool, we want to talk about it. And
Yeah,
that's why we started this weekly show.
yeah. Well, yes, this will hopefully be the first of a
Hopefully.
weekly or whenever we can fit it into our schedule show. But
Right. So
yeah,
yeah, when we talk, we don't get to. We used to get together and talk about cool stuff in person until COVID happened, and now we started thinking like we're always want to talk about like, hey, I just saw this cool uh, video game trailer or movie trailer, or our buddies launching a Kickstarter. So instead of us just calling each other on the phone or doing our own private Zoom calls, we decided to share these conversations with you guys.
yeah.
And
Maybe we could turn you on to something that you haven't heard of before, and might want to check out. So
absolutely,
Um, so we're going to cover a couple things with this first episode. The first thing that we want to talk about that is super cool is getting to see our friends at Moonlit Moor Games succeed with their Kickstarter. So
yes,
they have been trying to get their game Last Days of Athobrae um, funded on Kickstarter for I think 3 years now, and this was the third campaign they ran for it, and apparently the third time's the charm. So they just hit a couple days ago, and we are super happy for them. We have seen them at conventions putting in all the hard work, and to see these guys finally be able to succeed at what they've been trying to do for 3 years is just wonderful.
super cool. If you've never ran a Kickstarter before in your life or tried to design something from scratch, it is going to be it's a hard endeavor, and these guys have put in like blood, sweat, and tears to get this off the ground. The game is beautiful. It's a beautiful game. Last Days of Athobrae. Kind of the theme of it is it's a sci-fi game where centuries of war and pollution have devastated the planet of Athobrae, and it will never return to its former glory. In fact, its doom is inevitable. So you have how many players is it, Weller, per
It's
game?
two to five, 2 to 5
Two to
players.
five players. Okay, so you got 2 to 5 players with three actions per turn, which is a resource building kind of game where you collect resources, you apply those resources, you can wage battle on other factions in the game, and then there's a doom phase in every turn. And basically, the doom phase is it starts to slowly the planet is being destroyed as you're doing all this. So you're having to kind of recalibrate your strategies and your resources as you build your ship to leave Athobrae before it blows up like Krypton. And the first person to get off Athobrae is the winner, and everybody else is, I guess, dead.
Pretty
Well,
much.
is,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, so you play as one of five different factions. They're all unique. They can all do different things. And yeah, like Craig said, every time it's your turn, you have three actions that you can do. You can move around the board, um, collect resources. You can build things, and you're trying to be the first faction to construct a spaceship so you can get off the planet. Now, what I think is the coolest part about the game is what Craig mentioned earlier, the Doom phase. Okay, so the game board in this has a bunch of hex tiles laid out, and as the Doom phase starts, basically the planet starts falling apart. So you're going to start flipping tiles over, which sometimes will expose different resources and things. And then if the tile's already flipped over, you're going to actually remove it. So the game board actually starts falling apart as you're playing. So
That's
all
so
of a
cool.
sudden, yeah, you might have to, completely adjust your strategy based on the fact that, like, oh, well, I was going to go for that thing, and that part of the planet blew up, so now I can't. Crap, what am I going to do now? But it's a really cool game. Like I said, they hit their goal on Kickstarter a couple days ago, and the campaign is, I believe, going to run for another week yet. So we will leave a link to their Kickstarter campaign in in the
Sure.
stuff below here if anybody's interested and wants to check it out. I also believe that the Board Game Revolution Facebook group is also running a contest, and they're giving away a copy on there.
Yeah, they are. I think it's on their top. Is it on their top banner, Weller?
I'm not sure offhand. I'm not
Okay.
sure. I saw an ad for it earlier today.
Yeah, check out Board Game Revolution too. They're a really good site too. They're really have a lot of good assets for designers and gamers to run contests and banners, and like we did it and helped out a lot for our
Yeah.
Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah. So
So highly recommend. Board Game
coolest
Revolution.
thing. Oh, look at my fist. That's awesome.
Ah,
Coolest thing this week is Last Days of Athobrae hitting their Kickstarter. That makes us so happy, and we're so proud of you guys, and we hope that you know, this is just the first in many games that you guys
I see like us getting to like a cool factor, like, you know, I give it 4 cool factor points. Well, this show is so new. Is like this would get a lot of cool factor points. We got to figure out our cool factor structure. We're not even that far into
No.
this yet. So, but we'll get there. And like, yeah, everybody out there, like, vote. Like, what's a good name? Craig, and we'll talk about cool stuff. Look at this cool stuff. Like, you know, it would be great. So
we should call it unstable Zoom calls.
yeah, like I just lost my internet connection. Not cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's gonna be some choppiness in this. We're gonna have to get the bugs ironed out.
When did you find the Infinity Gauntlet, Weller? Like, how did you have the whole universe like at your disposal now in the back?
Oh, it's wizard magic. I can't tell you.
Magic. The longer your beard gets, the more power you get. Yeah, it's like Samson and Delilah, but it's your beard.
It's true. It's true.
So,
So, Craig, why don't you tell us about something else that's cool that you managed to find the other day?
so what we want to do is we have a highlight cool thing, which is Athobrae, and then me and Weller surprise each other with a cool thing that each other don't know about. So I don't think so. Anyway, so if you guys are familiar with the site OfferUp, it's kind of like a flea market online that you can find cool stuff on. And at night, before I go to bed, I'm always like, Dungeons and Dragons, look. Board games, look. You know, horror, look, and see if there's any cool stuff for a good price on there. But what I came across was awesome. And if you guys are familiar with the old Grenadier model miniature line, the pewter and the lead, even back in the day, they made some great D&D and war game miniatures. I came across 3 boxes on OfferUp of these miniatures. These probably date back to like 81, 82, the first line of the Grenadier. The first one is Fighting Men. And look at that art, very cool. The next one is a monster figure set that actually comes with the Beholder. I think there's a cave fisher in here, and a lot of cool monsters. Open that up. These were pre-painted, which is fine, which is cool. But like, check out.
When they initially were made, they weren't pre-painted though?
No. This has had some love from gamers over the years. But that's the Beholder. You know,
it's
awesome.
awesome.
It looks just like the drawing in the Monster Manual back in the day.
That's awesome.
So they actually, very cool. Here's this is the snake lizard guy. What do you call that? It started with a Y, like the young talking dang. Like there was something. I forgot this guy, but he's a monster in the Monster Manual.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like
a big guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It starts with a Y, right?
It might.
It was like an Oriental name, kind of. I think, but. And the brain. Remember the brain with legs?
Oh yeah, that's Intellect Devourer, I believe.
Yes, and I think that's the cave fisher. I think
it might be. That's awesome.
These are all under earth dwelling creatures. Yeah. And then in the last little box is this is specialists, and this box is a little fried, like as far as the interior, but there's even like a samurai warrior in this one.
That's cool.
Which is very cool. And then it's a lot of like that looks like a rogue or a ranger or something. That looks cool. But yeah, just a lot of cool stuff. I mean, and here's a little tidbit of trivia about these Grenadier models. So they called these the solid gold line. And I'm like, why do they call it the solid gold line? Uh, they used to, this company that started in a basement with a couple of people, kind of like us, but we don't have a basement. But they ended up I think in Pennsylvania in Springfield. And as they grew, they called themselves the Grenadiers. When they first did Revolutionary War models, their first set. And then they did war models, and then of course they took over for all the Dungeons and Dragons miniatures and for TSR in the early '80s. But they call this a solid gold lines because they would randomly put uh, gold-plated minis in boxes, kind of like Easter eggs, for people to find. I have never seen one of those online, so those must be ultra rare.
It's
But
like the Wonka golden ticket.
yeah, exactly. But this was like a little treasure, man. This was very cool. It transports you right back to like grade school and playing Dungeons and Dragons, just like seeing these. Super cool. But that's my cool find of the week.
That's awesome, dude.
Oh
That's
yeah. When
really
you find something like this, you gotta talk like Macho Man. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. So
that's
yeah,
awesome, man. Great find. Great find.
yeah.
That's super.
I thought you would dig that for
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely, man.
Now tell me about your cool thing. I want to hear about
Well, I don't have a physical copy of it, and more than likely, I'm not going to get one. But
that.
uh, I did see something the other day that I just thought was super awesome. Talk about like feeling like a little kid again. So I saw just the other day they released some images that Lego is releasing a Star Wars Moss Eisley Cantina set,
Oh,
and
that sounds cool.
oh, dude, it looks amazing. I mean, but it's gigantic. I mean, I think it's over like 3,000 pieces. Like the whole thing, once you build it, it's like over 2 feet long and like
Oh
almost
God.
2 feet wide. And yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is awesome, but I have no shelf space for this thing. I think it comes with over like 20 minifigures too. So,
Oh my God. That would be cool to play the Star Wars role playing game with too. That'd be really cool.
It's really neat though. I mean, there's you can find photos of it all over the internet, but I think it's coming out like next month. It's pricey. It's like $350 or something. But yeah, I was like, oh man, that
goes, man. But that
yeah, that thing's cool, man. It's just like, oh, that's rad. I want one of those. And it would probably take.
I'll have to go and check that out. I haven't seen that yet. So yeah, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, it would probably take me like three days to put together, I would bet.
Wow. So I mean, maybe you're a good boy. Maybe Christmas, maybe Santa Claus will bring that to you.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Hopefully he'll buy some more shelves for me too, since we're out of shelves.
Oh, that's the one thing I need, like shelves, man. I have no space hardly anymore. So
I know.
Gotta get a bigger house, bigger apartment. But,
all right, so that was pretty cool. I had fun. Did you have fun, Craig?
I had fun, man. I hope you guys had fun. This is our first show, and we thought about this just a couple of days ago, and like we didn't rehearse or anything. We just got on here and just talked to each other about cool stuff, and that's kind of what I want the show to be. I don't want it to be fancy and structured and like all this other stuff, Like this is us talking about cool stuff.
Yeah, cool stuff. Hands, weird screen.
I gotta get me a fancy backdrop though. I can at least afford that. That's enough production. Those are free, right?
Yeah, I'll show you how to do that.
Okay, cool. I'm down.
All right, guys. So remember, check it out. Check out Last Days of Athobrae. There's a link down below if you guys want to check that game out and help.
There's a link. There's
a wonderful. Yeah, it's down there.
Yeah, it is. It is down there.
Yeah, help support a great small game company that's put out a wonderful product. Save your pennies if you want that Lego set, and good luck finding a copy of those D&D minis that Craig found, because those things are not easy to come by. But these are our 3 cool things this week, and hopefully next week we'll come back at you with 3 more cool things. My fingers are disappearing. All right.
Be
Later,
cool,
guys.
stay cool.
Moo.
Moo. Moo. Bye.
Later.